Hello, and thank you for tuning in again to Archery 101. Today we're going to build some arrows. So I've got brand new arrows. These are actually going to be for my recurve, and I'm leaving them a little bit long because I haven't tuned this in all the way yet. I've got a Easton Carbon 1, and it is a 900 spine. Again, the spine is how much the arrow flexes. So because it's a recurve, this is going to be a much softer arrow. So I have determined my length. You can see that little silver spot right there. We've got an arrow saw that I got set to the distance I want, which is right there and there. And I'm going to start this thing up and cut a dozen arrows. So I've got them right here. I'm going to show you how to cut the first one. It's going to be a little bit noisy. So first we turn on the vacuum. So it's just that simple. As you put the arrow in, you start to spin it. Most of you that are beginning in archery, this is going to be done at your archery shop, so it's just an introduction. Stay tuned. We're going to work on putting in the pin and the tip, and then eventually the fletchings here in a few minutes, so stay tuned. Okay, I've got the arrow shafts cut out of the saw. What I like to do now, I'll show it to you, is I've got the Easton 3-piece arrow tool kit. I like to clean out the arrows. I like to make sure that, well, essentially you put a little bit of roughness into it. So this is much like a gun cleaning kit. It's got a soft fuzzy on the end, but we'll do something with that later. So just find the size that fits the inside of your arrows. Insert into the arrows, easier said than done. Spin it a couple times, do the other end, spin it a couple times. It roughens up the inside of the arrow a little bit, gets it ready for the points and the pin bushings in the back. So go through all this dozen, get that done, and then we'll start getting ready to start pins and arrow tips in. All right, so what I like to do after I got the arrows cut and roughed up on the inside is just grab my air compressor and blow a little air through them, trying to get them as clean as possible on the inside. So this is just blowing them out with a little bit of air. All right, so at this point, it is time to glue in the pins for the nocks. Notice I've got a little torch there, and using some low temp blue glue is what I call it. These are aluminum pieces, and I am just holding on to them. You want as little heat as possible to go into these when you're installing. Just a little bit of glue. A lot of times you won't even need anything to hold into the pins, but these were a little bit loose, so I just wanted to make sure that they stayed in there. So, pushing down on the floor, that again, just gives me a little bit more leverage. Now it is time to put in the points. Same process, a little bit more heat. These are steel, so it's going to take a little bit more heat. Heat it up, get a little glue in there, and then just push it in. Notice that I'm spinning it when it goes in. That one needed a little bit more help to get in all the way. And again, a little bit of glue. Heat up the points, heat up the glue. Make sure it's good and warm. Make sure you got a good amount of glue on it. Grab onto the arrow. And it just slides right in. It's a pretty simple process. You really don't want to get too much heat in there though, simply because you're working with carbon. And you get too much heat and it will cause problems with the arrows later. This is one of those things that as you practice it more, it gets a little bit simpler. It's nice to use the hot melt glue simply because if you ever need to take a tip out, it's real easy to do. So, yep, there's those ones, and I'm going to do one more here. Spinning to apply the glue, give it one more shot, make sure you got plenty on there, and you'll sort of realize as you're putting them together, and as you push them on, you'll get excess glue that'll get pushed out the front, so it's a pretty easy deal. All right, now we're working with a biter tri-liner. So it comes with an adapter that goes into the knock, put it in the tri-liner, up goes the tri-liner. Silver Sharpie works best, I have found for this. Make a mark, 1, 2, and 3. Now I also like to make a little mark at the bottom for showing me where, and I'll spin that, but it shows me where the end of the vein is going to go. Now, this took me a while to figure out how to do this the best, but I like to do the double-sided tape, apply it right onto the arrow shaft, and I will do this right above my line. Don't know if it makes any difference, but I do like to put it on just the arrow shaft and not over the top of the mark that I've just done, just to make sure I get the best adhesion I can. Got 3 of those. Now, after you get all 3 applied, you want to make sure it's good and stuck on there. So I like to rub them all, and especially the ends, because here's one of the parts that I find most difficult about applying these rascals is now I've got, it's of course a double-sided tape, and I've got to get the backing off of the tape now. I'm just using a Havalon knife. Makes it, I think, easiest to get the backing off. Now, got that one off. Now I've also got a biter jig. I don't know the official name for it right offhand right now. Helps you get the vein onto the arrow shaft. Get it lined up with the mark, which is now lined up with the tape. Rub it on there, and there's one. This is one of those things that the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. Truth be told, this is only the second set of arrows that I have ever built with the spin veins on them. Now I'm going to get a little assist from the cat. She just picked this time to come up here and try to help out. But again, line it up, apply your finger. That's the second of 3. For some reason, this cat just loves, well, like all cats do, she just loves to play with stuff. So anyway, applying the last of the 3.
And an assist from the cat.
Trying to keep the garbage away from her and not going well. Sorry for the assistance. Truth be told, this was the 3rd or 4th time I tried to do this, and I just had to finally just put the cat in the video. So applying the last of the 3. Now, the last step is to put on the tape. I'm going to have to pause this. All right, so we've got the little things out of the way so the cat's semi under control. Now I'm going to put the tape on the forward and the back ends. Now, everything comes with the kit that you'll buy when you get the veins. Put one end on and just spin it right on the veins. Trailing edge of the vein on, get it stuck, and just spin it right onto the arrow shaft and the veins. Just that simple. Now I've got a little excess double-sided tape. I'm just going to score that, make that easy to come off, and then just spin the shaft and you'll feel the little pieces of whatever's left on the tape come off. And that is how you put spin vanes on. It's just that easy. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you soon.